question answer on winds, storms and cyclones we are taking. First is fill the missing word in the blank spaces in the following statement. Wind is dash air. Wind is moving air or blowing air. Winds are generated due to dash heating on the earth, so uneven heating on the earth. Near the earth's surface, dash air rises up, whereas dash air comes down. So warm air always rises up and cooler air always comes down. Air moves from a region of high pressure to low pressure because it is always a tendency in the entire world, or you can say entire uh, galaxy, that everything needs to be or wants to be in equilibrium. So when the high pressure will be at some point, it will try to become low, or rather adjust to low, so that this releases its pressure. That is how the high pressure will always the air in the high pressure will always go to low pressure areas. Suggest two methods to find out wind direction at a given place. So there are so many ways. First is, you can take some sand in your hand, just try just open your hand so that it can slip, and you can just see how where this dust particle, because they are very light, so the wind will take them in certain directions. So that is the direction of the wind. You can always fly a kite, so the direction of kite, the direction in which the kite is flying is the wind direction. Then you can take a bit of paper on your palm, then the piece will fly in certain direction because they are also very light, so the wind is able to blow them. This is the direction of the this is the actual direction of your wind. You can also use a wind vane and anemometer. Next is, state two experiences that made you think that air exerts pressure other than those given in the text. Okay, the two experiences. See, you have seen the trees. Whenever there is a wind blowing or moving, you'll see that the tree leaves and branches, they flutter due to the pressure which is exerted by the air in the form of wind. And also when you're riding the bicycle or any vehicle against the direction of the wind, you will feel some problem. You want to buy a house. Would you like to buy a house having windows but no ventilators? Explain your answer. See, whenever we make some food, or specifically talking about kitchen or bathroom, there are heated water, and there are fumes which go, and they are always hotter. So hot air will blow up, it will go up. Now the windows can help only when the wind is blowing, but when the air is hot, it will go up. So there we need to have a ventilator, otherwise the whole room or whole house will be suffocated. So smoke from the kitchen and warm air, because it is being warm, it rises up. So if there is no outlet like the ventilators, it will be difficult to escape from the warm air and will heat up the room, and this can cause suffocation and discomfort. Next is, explain why holes are made in hanging banners and hoardings. So if you have big banners and hoarding, the wind may come from each direction, and when the wind is coming from this direction, this may happen that it doesn't find any place to go, and it exerts pressure, and this banner and hoarding will you can say it can break off, it can come down. So if you put small say holes, even if the wind is blowing, they will always get some place to go out, they find a place to move on. So air exerts pressure in all directions. If banners and hoardings do not have holes, pressure exerted by wind, they may tear them off and make them fall. So hole let the air pass through and reduces the air pressure on banners and hoardings. Next is, how will you help your neighbors in case cyclone approaches your village and town? So you need to be always prepared, because if you are aware, because now the weather department, Met department, they have those gadgets, they have these instruments that they can precisely tell the time also. So now if the cyclone is approaching, what you have to do is you need to help your neighbors, friends, because the items, they have, they're important household items, their livestock or cattle or the vehicle, we need to move them to the safer places. We can always have a communication with the government agencies like police, fire brigade, medical centers, where there are, where are the emergency service points as per the requirement. Then in these kind of situation, the water becomes very important, because the water will not be available, and without water we cannot survive for only survive for few days. For that we need water, so we need to have safe drinking water. Then we should avoid driving roads nearby flooded hit areas, because the problem can come anytime. What planning is required in advance to deal with the situation created by a cyclone? So if there is a cyclone, the self-help is the best help. So it's therefore it's always better to plan in advance rather than havocing or panicking at that point. It is always better to plan in advance and ready with defense against any situation which arises because of the cyclone. So the planning which is required in advance to deal with cyclone hit situation is like this. You can have a emergency kit, keep an emergency kit at home. You can store food in waterproof bags. You can store safe drinking water, because this is very important. Water is the most important thing, and if you happen to drink the contaminated water, that will cause diseases and that will increase the pain in the cyclone. Just try to keep the numbers your at your disposal, and the phone and mobile batteries charged. Also, because it may go long, it may prolong, you may face certain situation, you are logged, or you are um, into this situation for 2 or 3 days or more than that. So you need to make necessary arrangement for to ship the essential household goods, domestic animals, cattle and vehicles to safer places. Next is, which one of the following places is unlikely to be affected by cyclone? Amritsar. The answer is very straightforward. This lies in between the Indian region, and Chennai, this Mangaluru, Puri, they all have oceans. There are always these things, high pressure, low pressure areas. The cyclone can come, but here the chances are very less. Which of the statement given below is correct? So please read them one by one. In winter, the wind flows from land to the ocean, and this is correct. This is the correct one. In the winter, wind actually flows from land to the ocean. So this is the